see from the other night that you look at it and say it's repeatable today too?
I think there's been a few times where the way we played has been repeatable, and then I don't really want to repeat the third period the way we did. So the first two periods were really good. They were excellent from, forechecking, from back pressure, defensively. We gave up really hardly anything through the first two periods, and then too much in the third, and relied on some big saves. And so I don't want to get into that, but there's been games where, regardless of the result, where I thought we were doing the right things and playing the right way. Then there's been some where I don't like it. So I'm pretty honest about what I see and how the game goes. And so there was two really good periods played in Buffalo. I'd like to repeat those.
When you have a bit of a funk that you've been in, is it more, you need wins, but do you need to see the repeatable stuff?
You need both. You can't just keep saying, you can't just keep saying, well, we're doing the right things, we've got to get the results, they're not coming. You need both. You need to, I think there were some games in the middle, after the first 7 or 8 games, there was probably 6 or 7 games there we were getting the results, but everybody's eyeball would tell you a little bit differently. But the wins are in the column, and so, that's not sustainable either. And so I think you need to be doing the right things, playing the right way, and then you need the wins to follow it and back it up.
Is this the same lineup as you skated yesterday?
Yeah.
So
I believe so. I believe so.
So what does Jimmy VC have to do to get back in?
Jimmy's been a really good player. Again, Larry, sometimes when somebody's out of the lineup, you could say the same thing for Johnny. Johnny's been good when he's been in there. Jimmy's been good when he's been in there. At this point, I've made a decision to go with a different player at this point. And I like what that player is doing on the ice. Doesn't mean that any player that's out of the lineup necessarily was doing something wrong.
Is there, like, do you think you're getting more physicality from Berard than you get from VC?
They're different. I think they're different players. They're a little bit different players. For me, I think Jimmy's done a really good job of what we've asked. They started in the defensive zone. Usually it was with Eddie and Sam. I thought they played well together. The line was effective, I think. The same can be said when Johnny was on it. And I really liked the way that line played in Buffalo. I thought maybe we're our best line. They're maybe our most effective line. I don't have an answer to. Jimmy's a good player, and right now he's caught with the numbers.
Does that represent a particular challenge when you're trying to do the good repeatable stuff over and over again, forecheck, shift after shift? They don't give up much, so I could easily see how you could lose a little patience.
Yeah,
with that too.
I think we got to be patient with it. Like you're right, their chances are down, their shots are down. I think we have to be looking to attack and not overthink it or overplay it. Sometimes, we've talked about it in the last few games here. Sometimes simplicity is the simplest thing. Well, that doesn't make sense. Sometimes simplicity, it's an easy thing, but we can complicate it. And so I think that just having that mindset of getting the puck out quick, getting it through the neutral zone, and getting it on the net, you look for something better. You have lanes, you have opportunities, and you're thinking there's something better out there. I think sometimes against a team that's tight defensively and doesn't give up a lot of shots and don't give up a lot of chances, you can overcomplicate it looking for something better when in fact a lot of teams just use shots to break down defenses. They make the defense move, and I think we need to be looking to bring things to the net offensively.
Speaking of that a little bit more, do you think Mika's starting to simplify a little bit more the last 5 years or so? He seems like he's starting to feel more of a rhythm offensively.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's been a couple moments in there, not about Mika. There's been a couple moments in there where our group was off and we needed to be better. But you can go back to, I can't remember, maybe a game prior to Pittsburgh, and then from Pittsburgh on. There's been a lot of positive things with his speed that he's attacking with, and this line has been able to move things and get into the offensive zone and look to generate. But I still think there's room for improvement with that as well, with that line. So I think the consistency of that is, you know, can really make a difference from game to game, the consistency. If you can bring it from one to the next, to the next, to the next, now you become a productive line. So just trying to find that consistency.
Okay, thank you.
Igor, right?
Igor's in that.